Hey everyone, welcome back to a long overdue Mac break on DaVinci Resolve. Before we get into today's lesson, I wanted to let you know that all this week we're running our annual Black Friday sale on all our tutorials using the code on the screen. You can purchase any of our DaVinci Resolve Final Cut Pro or Motion tutorials for 40% off. So with that out of the way, let's talk about DaVinci Resolve 18. Last week, Resolve 18.1 dropped with a ton of new features, and today I want to show you one of them that I'm already putting to great use. Now, the feature I'm talking about is a new grid alignment tool that will help you create seamless music loops or any other editing where cutting on the precise beat is important to you. Let me show you how it works. Okay, I'm starting out in the edit page where I'm working on a short project of these ranchers destined for TikTok. And I've downloaded and placed a stock music clip into the A3 track, and as you can see, it's way too long. What I want to do is create a loopable region so that I can end the song at this beat marker here. So what I'm going to do is jump into Fairlight. I can see all my tracks. And I'm going to press the home key to jump back to the beginning. And I don't actually need to see the dialogue track or the effects track, so I'm going to jump into the index and I'm going to turn off A1 and A2 so my focus is just on the music. With regard to working with music, you have this new button here. If you click it, you now have options for setting up a grid. And the grid can be based on time slices or tempo. In order to see the grid, click this button. And right now we're looking at tempo, but I can look at time. And if I do look at time, I can show slices and half frame, quarter frame, what have you. But we're going to work with tempo because obviously we're working with music here. In terms of resolution, you can set the note resolution as a bar, half note, quarter note, eighth note, and so on. And I typically leave this set at quarter note because most popular music is in a 4/4 time signature, which is essentially 4 beats per measure. So this setting is good for the lion's share of music that you would download from the internet to work on your projects. The tempo is set currently at 120 beats per minute. We'll come back to this. The other thing is you're going to want to enable this little item right here, this little magnet. This allows you to snap your clip to these grid lines. And the first thing I want to do is figure out where the first beat is. And notice when you get a lot of music, there's a few frames where there's nothing happening and you really want to start right on the first beat. This is where the transient detection feature comes in. You click this button on the toolbar. It puts a line, by the way, you're going to enable it here on the track as well. You'll notice these lines show you where all of the beats happen in the clip, and you can use your down arrow to jump to these transients, and it really helps to precisely line your playhead with beat. So with my playhead there, I'm going to press Command B to split the clip and then press delete. So now I have the clip starting precisely where I want it.
I love being outdoors.
Okay, what I also want to do is mute the other tracks, or solo this track, I should say. I'm going to click solo so we only hear the music, and I'm going to turn off the transients. And now when I drag the first beat of the music, it snaps to the quarter note beats of the grid. I think we're a little bit late, so we see that frame here. We want it to come in probably here. All right, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. And the next step is to create a range using the I and O key in order to help Fairlight determine the proper tempo of the section we want to loop. I'm going to play back the music and set the start of the range at the first measure and the end of the range at the last measure. I'm going to press up arrow to go to the beginning, and I'm going to press play, and then I'm going to do a 4/4 count, and I'm going to use the I key to mark the end point on the first measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4. What I want to do next is move my playhead to the start of the first measure by pressing Shift I that always moves the playhead to the start of the range. Now, I'm going to right click in the ruler area and I'm going to choose Set Tempo Grid BPM. It's going to bring up this box where you enter how many measures you want it to set the tempo for. And of course, you heard me just count out 4 measures. So that's what I'm going to enter here. I also have a check next to Set Start from Playhead, because what that'll do is tell Fairlight that's the start of the song, starting at that measure where the playhead is. Now I just click Set Tempo from Range. So the first thing to notice is that the first beat at the playhead is aligned with the first quarter note of the grid. But more importantly, all the grid lines fall at each quarter note in the song based on the recalculated tempo between the range. Now I want to be clear about something. Fairlight is not changing the tempo. The tempo is the tempo. It's simply trying to determine how the beat grid should align based on that tempo. Because the beats are now aligned with the grid, it should make it easy to create a seamless 4-count loop. And I'm going to press Command B to split the clip here, and then press Shift O, go to the out point of the range, and press Command B to split the clip. Now I have this section here. I don't need this part, so I'm just going to delete it. And then I'm going to clear the range by pressing Option X. Move my playhead to the beginning of the clip. Select it. Press Command C. Down arrow. And notice it copied the clip. I have this ghosted clip. Press Command V to paste. Let me just move over here a little bit. Maybe zoom out. Down arrow, Command V to paste. Let's see how good of a job Fairlight did at creating these loops. Man, that's pretty amazing. So all I need to do is stretch this out. My end of my videos here, so I'm just going to grab this, drag it out to the end, and maybe a little bit longer. And then over here at the beginning, I don't need this little piece here because I said I wanted this at the start of the song. So I'm going to just delete that little piece here. Then I'm going to select these and then move my playhead where the shot comes in because I really want that music to come in at that shot. Now you'll notice if I zoom in here that my playhead is right in the middle of a grid line here. So I don't really want this to snap to a grid line. I want it to snap to the playhead. So I'm going to go back to the grid view. I'm going to turn off magnetic snapping and I'm just going to drag this and line it up to the playhead like that. And then I'm going to move to the end of the timeline and make sure that I have enough media that goes past the end there. I'm going to select the clip and go over to the trim menu. I'm going to choose fade out to playhead. It creates a fade to the end. So when it gets to the end, I got this nice fade out. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments what you think and if this is a feature that you can see yourself using. And for those of you who are in the US, I wish you blessings and health during the holidays. See you in the next video.